Lynette Oxley here for SHAC Tactical TV. I'm interviewing Sharmaine Lombard, an absolutely lovely and awesome lady, for the 16 days of action against for no violence against women and children. Sharmaine, we met a while ago at one of the functions, and then you did your competency through me. So you have, we're busy doing a book together, and part of that is Sharmaine's story. If you want to tell us a little bit about why you wrote this insert that we're going to do on the book, and we'll take it from there.
Absolutely. First of all, thank you so much for having me. So the story starts coming from an abusive background. So obviously abuse comes, in different stories. So it's one part advocating for my mom, who was the brunt of the physical abuse from the other caregiver, and for me more of a mental physical aspect. So it was growing up in a home, being exposed to that from a young age, and obviously so much goes on in your mind because you're still a child, and for a child to be in the middle of those sort of things, it was very hard growing up. It was extremely hard.
It also, I was at an event where some ladies spoke about their experiences on Friday, and they say it's always the people that's closest enough to closest to you that hurt you the most. Is that your case?
Absolutely, definitely. Like I say, in this case, it was obviously the caregiver, as I explained, and like for a girl, growing up, that caregiver should actually be the one that's supposed to protect you, and then to see how that person then treats their life partner, and their child, it's extremely traumatic. And I just think, after retrospectively looking back, I was definitely one of the lucky ones, because I feel my mom was like the protector.
You've got scars, but you've obviously survived. You're a survivor.
Absolutely.
And has it made you stronger?
It has. I think, as twisted as it probably sounds, had it not been for those terribly traumatic experiences, I would probably be a completely different person right now. And also, I had a strong mother, so I was one of the lucky ones. I think she bore the brunt of all of that, but she somehow managed to find the strength, and I think she's a bigger survivor in this story to have been able to pass that on to me. It was her shaping and shaving, and through everything having the support and the protection, where I do realize not a lot of women and a lot of kids, looking from my perspective, are lucky enough. So first of all, we've gotten through it, and also, made you a stronger person. The scars will always be there. And it's as bad and as traumatic as what physical abuse is. The mental and the emotional, those are the scars that it's still with you today. So I think those are harder to get through. The bruises do heal, and that it doesn't make it any different, but emotional, mental scarring is for me 10 times more worse than what a physical attack would be from an aggressor.
I absolutely agree, and a lot of people will just go and sit in the corner and saying, I'm a victim, I'm not going to get out of this.
Yeah.
And what is interesting for me is to see women like yourself that comes out of it stronger, because I do believe that those type of abuse, it depends on how you deal with it. If you're going to be a survivor or not. So one of the things that we say in the Girls on Fire campaign, victim no longer, I'm not a victim.
Absolutely.
Sorry. You basically then talk about the day that changed my life.
Absolutely.
Let's have a chat about that.
So this all started with friends of us, coming over with a Brian, talking, and obviously the boys have, got the affinity and feeling for firearms. So I used to go with my husband, to the range casually, but feeling like deathly afraid. When you get the shakes and the Elvis, effect, it used to be a scary thing, because there's so many things, that goes through your mind. So he's like, oh, come, let's go to the range. Like, oh, okay, I'll go, knowing that you're afraid of it. And then friends of ours attended the Girls on Fire event in 2020.
Yeah.
Went to attend it.
Time goes. I think that might have been in 2019. I don't think we've had a 2021.
Okay.
lockdowns happened, and
Yes.
luckily we had one this year.
Yes. Okay, so I attended the event in 2019. The girls were all animated about it, and you could just see, you know, the mannerism and how it popped up and how excited they were. And they're like, "Oh no, you're going to come with." I'm like, "Okay, you know, won't back out of anything, but I mean, like, you know, I will always go and try something first before saying no." And they were just explaining, oh, there's all sorts of sizes of guns, and it's this fantastic event, you know, by women, for women, and it's, you know, women that has come from a background like myself and my mom. And I thought, okay, well, this is a great initiative. I definitely want to try it. And I remember day of earlier this year, we went. I think we just parked the car, got the registration, and, you know, we broke off and all our squads. And then I think my nemesis up until that day was the 50 cal. And it's so hard to explain to somebody that hasn't been there before. It's like that whole booming effect. I was like, really, that is like when I think reality of, oh, this is what you're going to do today. And then obviously the shakes ensued. And one of your instructors, one of your range officers was so nice, and she just said to me, "I got you. You're going to do this."
There we go. Okay, so let's go back the 50 cal.
Yes, so 50 cal was the nemesis, and I remember we were still far away at I think the air rifle range, and then walking up to I think section 2 was where the 50 cal and the 308 was hosted. And I just remember that booming effect, but I think you can't quite explain to somebody in words. It's this earth-shattering, but so exciting at the same time. And that exact moment that after, I think 3 times, looking back at the videos we obviously now took, after the 3rd time getting it right and then moving on, that shot of adrenaline and empowerment was just coursing through the veins. It's very weird to try and explain to somebody else because it's soothing, but it's empowering at the same time. And just at that moment, I think that was like the eureka moment for me, the light bulb moment, where I felt safe and I felt calm. And at that exact moment in time, going through all of it and still focusing with everything from a safety perspective that needs to happen, that was the complete turning point for me. This is where I know, okay, this is a journey that I'm going to undertake, and it doesn't even matter what happened in the past. I'm sure as damn hell not going to let it happen again.
Absolutely. And what I always tell people, so it didn't make you more aggressive because you're now going to own a gun.
No.
It actually makes you quite a lot less aggressive because you know that when owning a firearm, it's a life-changing thing if you do have to defend yourself.
Yes.
But at least you know you can defend yourself. And I've always said to people, it actually just calms you down. It's that reassuring thing that you can defend yourself.
Absolutely. And I mean, also, like you say, it's not about now all of a sudden you're going to be a gun-toting cowboy. It is not about that. Actually, if you're looking back coming from the previous victim mentality where you are, and knowing you can basically wield that type of power, but in the correct, power for good, and there's power for evil, but take this power for good. It has taken me on actually a journey of healing. So it's not even about, the aggressor previously. It went for me, it was like a whole magical journey of healing. Even now doing the club shoots and all of that, and looking back at the videos, I see I've gone from this to actually being, and it's just amazing. It's such an amazing feeling knowing that you can protect yourself. And I don't think a lot of women know you've got the right to protect yourself.
Absolutely.
And even if it's hard and you can't talk about it, do it for yourself. I think you owe it to yourself. Go and feel what it feels like. Like I said, it's a very indescribable feeling.
We have these kind of events on a regular basis, and it's always so nice for me to get this feedback. We work hard at it, and then it's nice to have the feedback.
Yes.
If you have a message for the women of the world about your experience, and what would it be?
I'd be like, there's a whole, sorority of sisters in arms. Like, we've got you. You are not alone. And it's not even like you need to if there's one thing that you do, you don't even need to. It's not easy. Look, it takes bravery, and you don't maybe want to share that story. It might be too painful, and it's not easy to talk about it.
No, it isn't.
But you've lived through it, so now you don't have to. It's like stay in that bubble. I think coming from previous victim mentality background, I think for those women, you need to start getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, because that is where your path of healing starts. And then also it's like take your I always say, I don't know if I can say this, pick your tits up, take your life back, claim your power back, and it starts today. You firstly owe it to yourself. You owe it to your kids, you owe it to the future generation of women that follows you.
My motto in life is put your big girl panties on and
Yes.
get on with it. I usually
Absolutely.
swear a little bit in between that, but that's it.
Yes.
It doesn't help to live as a victim. I haven't had an easy growing up experience. Loved my dad, but he was also a person that drank a lot. So obviously there's some stuff that happens. And yes, you just have to get on with it. My mom is a very strong woman, and luckily, you got support from your mom.
For sure.
And I've had another lady that we spoke to earlier. She got the Fighting Spirit Award, but her mom couldn't support her and didn't want to support her. And there's a lot of regret from her mom right now because she didn't do that.
Yeah.
So yes, it's not easy subject, but we're not victims.
No, not anymore.
Absolutely, absolutely not. Thank you very much for a very inspiring story.
Thank you.
I usually say, this is Lynette Oxley, I'm not a victim, I'm a girl on fire. I'm every woman, but I'm going to add today that Sharmaine is not a victim.
No, she's not.
She's every woman, and she's a girl on fire.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
I want to add like a little piece.
You can.
But it's all thanks to you guys. Like I say, those initiatives that you guys do, the work that you do is so important, and if this small little story helps somebody else,
I'm very, very glad. It was really inspiring for me to know that we have made differences in people's lives. So
very much
very
do.
Good. Thank you very much, Sharmaine.
Thank you for having me.
Have a great day.
You too.
Cheers.
Bye.